Hey guys, it's Haptic here. This is my very first video on this channel, and I'll just get straight into it. This is how I made my first 100,000 from age 18 to 23. Without getting lucky, I didn't start any businesses. I wasn't born into money. My parents didn't give me any money. I've made multiple mistakes. This has literally cost me thousands of dollars. So my very first job during the pandemic, I was 18 years old. I got a job as a football cleaner. I was making about 15 an hour. This was every Saturday. I was in high school, actually. This was like beginning of senior year. Every Saturday, I would make maybe 60 bucks. I was working, let's just say $60 every Saturday. So, wasn't a lot of money, but over the couple of weeks that I worked there, I probably made, I don't know, 8 weeks, $60. I probably made $500. Let's just say $500. There were times I worked more. There was times I made more than $60, but that was my very first job whenever I was 18. It wasn't glamorous at all, but the reason I had this job was I was playing football whenever I was 18, and it kind of just came to me. Somebody was like, "Hey, you want to do this?" I was like, "Yeah, sure." They needed people to clean footballs. It was like for Pee-wee football teams. So essentially, lots of fields needed these football cleaners. And it was a good job. I took advantage of it. They provided food. They provided candy. So I didn't have to worry about going out, getting food. So it was really nice. Whenever I was 18 to about 20, this was after the football cleaning job. This is my second job ever. It was springtime, and I started at Pizza Hut. One of my friends was working at Pizza Hut as a delivery driver, and where I'm at, it's like literally they pay like $7.25 or $7.50, just in store, which isn't good at all. On the road, it was even less. It was like $3.25 or $3.50. I think it was $3.25, but the tips more than made up for it. So I got this job. I sucked as a delivery driver at first, and I started delivering pizzas, and this got me probably my first $15,000 to $20,000. So I had about $500 in savings account. I didn't use any of that money. I hardly used any of that money in high school. I was fortunate enough not to have any expenses. My parents made me dinner, all that stuff. So let's just say I spent like maybe 100, 200 of that first 500. But Pizza Hut is where it started to change. I started making tips every weekend. I was in school still, in high school. I was a senior. I was working Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays. Fridays from 5 p.m. to 12 p.m. Friday to close. Saturday, same exact thing. Sometimes I would go in from like 4 to 12. So, and Sundays, Sundays I would work. It kind of depended. Typically from like 2 to 10 p.m., 2 to 9. So 7 to 8 hour shifts every time. And off of minimum wage, that's not good. But with cash tips, that's great. I was probably making anywhere from 15 on an average day, probably 15 to 20 bucks an hour. Sometimes, some nights, it was 25 an hour. I'm not even kidding you. Some tips were great. Little story, my very first time delivering a pizza, I got a $10 tip. My boss was with me. It was kind of crazy. I got a $10 tip. My second pizza delivery, I actually delivered to a hotel, and it was like a guy that was doing meth or something like that, and he gave me $10, I think, and he gave my boss $10 because it was kind of like hush hush money. We knocked on the door. This guy was whacked out of his mind. He had like a hooker in his room or something like that. I really don't know what it was. But anyways, after that, my boss went to the front desk. He's like, "Yeah, I'm outing this guy. The cops are coming at everything." Anyways, my boss gave me that $10. So my very first 2 deliveries, this was probably within 30, 40 minutes of each other, I made $30 just on that. And after that, I would say on average for Pizza Hut, each each delivery, I would say you're getting from on average, $3 to $5 every delivery. Sometimes there are people that don't tip at all, which is annoying. There's sometimes I got $20 in one delivery. My friend even got $100 tip one time. So those nights more than make up for the minimum wage. And I was 18, didn't really know much. I would consider this my first actual job. I was a football cleaner, but it didn't really feel like a football. It didn't really feel like a job because I was cleaning football and I was cleaning footballs and I was watching little kids play football. So it didn't really feel like a job, but Pizza Hut was my actual first job. I was working, man, let's just say 21 hours, 22 hours a week. So, after a while, those add up. So I was working that job start of spring to summer, all the way through summer. And once summer started, I started working 4 to 5 days every week, same shifts, 7 to 8 hours every time I went in. And you know what? Those cash tips really add up. I made about $15,000 to $20,000 total, my total time being there. And I took a little hiatus whenever after that summer, I was going to college. I quit I didn't quit, but I took a break from like October all the way to next spring. And then I went back to that Pizza Hut job whenever I was 19, 20, and same exact thing. But, I didn't spend any of that money. I would spend a little bit of money on like food. Whenever I went out with my friends, I would spend my cash tips because the way Pizza Hut works is whenever every night, whenever, let's just say I made $80 in tips, they physically hand you $80 in cash. So I had a ton of cash sitting out. I would just go home and I would stockpile cash. And that very first summer, whenever I was 18, spring to summer, I was probably counting it in maybe late summer, fall. I think it was late summer, end of summer. I had like $3,000 in cash that people would just hand me. Whenever you would have like on the receipt, it would be like they didn't tip you, but you come to the door and they give you like a $5. They give you like $3, $4, anything like that. I had $3,000 at the end of that. So that was a lot of money. And I didn't even know I was making that money. I was just stowing it away. And then at the end of that summer, fall, kind of in that time, I put it in my bank account and it was there. My third job, whenever I was 20, I started a sales rep job at a construction company. Now, I'm not going to give you the exact company because you guys might know it. I still have this job to this day. I love this job. It's great. I'm making like $15 an hour, but every time we sell specific units, every time I sell a unit, I get a $20 commission. Sometimes it's like $35. It depends what I sell. But essentially what I'm making right now is $25 an hour. And man, I make anywhere from $20,000 to $30,000 every year. Whenever I first started, I made like $22,000 because I wasn't really good. But now it's more like I'm making $30,000 every year. And then my fourth job, I'm a sales rep. I work, I think on average, 4 days every week, probably 7, 8 hour shifts, 4 days a week. Sometimes I push it to 6 days because we have like shows, stuff like that we have to do. So that adds up. But anyways, my fourth job, Mondays and Tuesdays, I was a delivery driver for Jimmy John's actually. And Jimmy John's was great. They paid me like $15 an hour, and then later it was $16 because I passed like a test or something. I had to know all the sandwiches, so I passed the test. I was making $16 an hour, and on the road it dropped to like 12, something like that. So I was making a lot of money. I was making tips. Jimmy John's, people tend to short you more. You tend to not make as many tips. You still make those good tips, but on average, I would say anywhere from $1 to $3, maybe $1 to $3.50. I would say was like average. A lot of people wouldn't tip. Some people would tip $5. Some lady tipped me $10, if I remember. So there were those occasional good tippers. So yeah, those are the 4 jobs that I've worked. I've made over $100,000 at those jobs, and those were like the physical jobs that I made. I guess a fifth avenue that I have a TikTok channel. I might tell you the TikTok channel later, but I do playthroughs, stuff like that, and I have about 40,000 followers on that. And I started posting videos, and I made about $1,000 from that. It wasn't much at all. It took me about a year It took me a year to get monetized, and then after that year, it took me maybe a year to make $1,000. So the TikTok rate starting was good. Right now, it's terrible. So unfortunately, I'm not making much money from that, but I did make $1,000, so it was well worth it. One thing I do want to talk about is, I guess, a 6th area where I'm making money is investing. So whenever I was 19, I started investing. I put that money that I made from my Pizza Hut job, everything. I found an investor. Well, actually, it was my mom's investor. And she told me, she was like, look, invest with this guy. I put a couple $1,000s in with this guy. He's great. This guy's great. He makes money. Every month, he pulls out a certain amount of money that I have. I don't even have to think about it. I literally don't even have to think about it. This is passive income. I'm going to be honest. I literally have quadrupled the amount of money since I was 19. I put money into this account. I think it was like you need like $1,000 to start an investing account. I put money into that account. I have quadrupled it. From this investor guy. Literally one of the best decisions I made, and it took 2 hours. I had to drive 20 minutes to this guy, had an hour meeting, and a 20-minute drive back. So less than 2 hours. Maybe I had a conversation with him. Maybe it was more than an hour, but about 2 hours. This is how it takes. And it's the best decision you will ever make in your life. So if you're 18, 19, and have a job right now, start investing early, because this is going to be one of the best passive incomes for the rest of your life. I'm not even kidding you. And one more thing I want to mention, forgot about it until now. My TikTok account made me about $1,000 monetization wise. So I have a brand deal with this guy. I don't do it anymore because it doesn't pay as much anymore, but he would give me music and I would use it in my videos, and then he would pay me like $10 every 10,000 views. I made a couple hundred from that. And it's still sitting in an account in like my PayPal or one of my PayPal accounts right now. And it just sits there. I don't really need the money. I'm probably going to put it in my investment account. So yeah. So those were essentially all of the ways that I made my money. So let's just go down the list one more time. $500, I was a football cleaner. Paid me $500. Pizza Hut. Maybe $20K I made from Pizza Hut, maybe more. I'll have to specifically check my pay stubs, but I worked there from 18 to 20. I made about, and I wasn't working full time either. I made about $10K every year, so about 20,000. I'll have to check, but I'll get back to you on that, maybe in a later date. And then my sales rep job. This is obviously a bigger job. And I make I make $15 an hour, but with commissions it's more like 25, 30. And this is where I made a lot of money. I make about 20. The first year I made 22,000. Now I'm making more like 30,000 every year. My fourth way was Jimmy John's, 2 days a week. That was it. I did deliveries and I worked I don't know how much this made me a couple $1,000s. It was a little bit more of like a side hobby. My friends worked at Jimmy John's. It was fun. And that's why I went there. And I started investing at 19 years old. Honestly, one of the biggest ones, the most impactful, was investing at 19 and having that money get pulled out of my account. And then TikTok. TikTok made me some money, made me about $2,000. It was 1,000 from monetization and like another 1,000 from that music deal that I was doing. So let's go into some mistakes. A lot of mistakes that I have made. One of the biggest mistakes that I have made. Whenever I was 18 and I got out of high school, my parents said, "You need to go to college." So I went to college, and I had no direction in my life, did not know what I wanted to do at all. Did not know what I wanted to do. So I went into college for kinesiology, and, doesn't really make much money. If you want to be a personal trainer, just get certified online. I actually gave it up because I like working out, but I gave it up because I don't like training other people. I like training myself. I don't like training other people. So maybe before going to college, you should do things that you should try lots of different things before you go to college. One of my biggest mistakes, I should have taken a gap year. I should have started an online business, and that's okay. It was a mistake. It cost me about $20,000, and that was one of my biggest mistakes that I did. So yeah, I didn't know what I wanted to do. Also, this is kind of a side tangent, but the advisors were terrible. They did not care about me. I had meetings with them. We scheduled all of my classes. Once the semester was over, they're like, "Yeah, you actually didn't really need that class." And I'm like, "Then why did you at the beginning of the year you were telling me I needed this class?" But that's a side tangent. If you're going to college, go to college for something that will actually make you money. And if not, go to college. Don't just go to college. Go to college for something that you like or something that you want to make money from. So, biggest mistake, going to college. My second biggest mistake that I've made is subscription services, stuff like this, stuff I don't use. I am an advocate for YouTube Premium. I don't use Spotify, don't do any of that. I don't even know how much. Is Spotify like $10-15 a month? Might even be 20. I pay like $18-19 for YouTube Premium right now. I've literally used that since middle school. My mom had like a YouTube Premium account. I would just use hers all the way up until Pizza Hut. So I was spending $20 a month on YouTube Premium, but honestly, I get so much benefit out of it. $20 worth it, worth every penny. YouTube Premium, if you want to listen to music and watch videos, get YouTube Premium. You can listen to music on there, plus you can watch videos. One of my biggest criticisms, my friend is like, dude, just get an ad blocker. And I'm like, I could, but I can just listen to music in my car. I don't have to worry about an ad blocker. So yeah, subscription services. I have subscribed to so many subscription services. One of the subscription services I subscribed to was the movie theater. Another $20. These just keep adding on. I have a watch that tracks everything I do. I subscribed to it. Another $30 a month. So if you think about it, that's $70 a month with the YouTube, with the watch, with it kind of, with the movie theater thing, it kind of adds up. And like little purchases, micro transactions are terrible. Anyway, subscription services, I pay for like CapCut. I used to live stream. I paid like $20 a month for that. If you think about it, I was spending like at chess.com for one. I played chess for a little bit, but I spent like $100 every year on that. If you think about this, these subscriptions add up to astronomical numbers. Like, I'm not even kidding you. Maybe $500, $600 it was more like, I want to say 100, let's say 150 every month. 150 times 12. You do the math. That's like $1,600, you know? And a 6 month period, you just don't even know where your money's going. 6 months pass, that's a full paycheck. Literally a full paycheck. $600, $700, full paycheck. That's just gone from services that you use. Another thing, little micro transactions. This kind of goes into the same vein as subscriptions, but whenever I'm on like TikTok, whatever, there's a guy. His name's Bastian. I like to donate money to him, and I've like I'll go onto his live, be like, oh, I'll donate like 5 here, 5 there, but over time, if I'm on his live, let's say once, twice a week, I donate like $5 to him here, $5 to him there. That's like twice a week, 4 weeks, so eight times 5, it's like 50 bucks I'm spending every month just donating to this guy. Little microtransactions. You want that candy bar, oh, there's another $2. You want that pack of gum, oh, there's another $2. You want this, you want that, oh, you know what, I'm not feeling like going to the grocery store, I'm gonna go to Chipotle, spend another $20. I'm gonna go to Jimmy John's, get a sandwich, another $20. These things over the year, if you look at it during the day, it doesn't really matter, but if you look at it through a whole year, you're spending thousands of dollars, and I'm not even kidding you. So little microtransactions will kill you. If you'll have essentially no money. Amazon purchases, stuff like this. I just talked to a friend that spent $100 on cologne. Bro, why are you spending I literally gave him a cologne that I used since 7th grade, and I barely used it. Why are you spending $100 on another cologne that you're never even going to use? Or I don't even know. I gave him a free cologne. He could have just used it instead of spending the $100. Now he has 2 different colognes, and he may use it, he may not. But just stuff like that. Amazon purchases, stuff you're never going to ever use. They make it so easy. I used to be into juggling. I spent about $50 on juggling balls. I used to be into Rubik's Cubes. I spent about 100 something bucks on Rubik's Cubes. Guess what? I don't use that stuff anymore. I literally don't use that stuff anymore. Playing cards, Pokemon cards, I've spent thousands. Okay, maybe not. Maybe 1,000 on like Yu-Gi-Oh, Pokemon, stuff like that. This stuff adds up over time. Literally, it adds up over time. Rather than spend money on that, I could be putting that into my investment account. Boom. If I just put that 1,000 into the investment account, I don't have to spend money on these Pokemon cards I'm never even going to look at ever again. And you know what? $5 Pokemon pack, you might have a chance of pulling a $50 card. You might. But you know what? They're in the business of profit, and it's probably not going to happen. You're essentially gambling. I mean, that's another thing, gambling, but I've never been to a casino. Don't gamble, because the house always wins. The house literally always wins. No matter what, you might get lucky. You might make a little bit of money. You might make more money. But essentially, the exceptions do not disprove the rule. The house is always going to win. You're most likely going to lose your money. Don't do this. Another thing, lottery tickets. It's fine if you purchase one lottery ticket here, one lottery ticket there. I get lottery tickets for my birthday. My girlfriend's mom was like, you know what, the Powerball is $1 billion. Buy one. I bought one. It was a couple bucks here, but don't buy them all the freaking time. One thing I wasted money on, another microtransactions, energy drinks. Every morning I was getting like an energy drink, maybe like 200 milligrams of caffeine. That was a big waste of money. Literally, I did this for like 2 weeks, bro. $2 for an energy drink for 2 weeks. That's like, that's literally $30 for 2 weeks. If you think about it, if you do that for a month, that's $60. That's another $60 you will never see again. And you know what? It doesn't even add much value. I mean, the caffeine does add value to your day. You're a little bit more happy, but by the end of that month, you're not thinking about that caffeine. You're not thinking about that cup of coffee. Another thing, Dutch Bros, Seven Brew, it's Starbucks. These are freaking $5 to $10 coffees. I have spent $10 every time my girlfriend and I go. I'll pay for her. And we don't go often, but literally $15 that I am spending for a coffee, two coffees. I'm never going to see that money again, and I'm never going to think about, wow, that was such a great drink. So I do it occasionally. I'll do it during the Christmas season. I'll do it on my birthday. Some of those places even offer free coffees on your birthday, but this is money I'm never going to see again. So don't do these little microtransactions. Make coffee at home. My dad literally doesn't even have a coffee machine. He boils his own water and just buys the coffee, and bought like a $3 strainer. Bro, if you spend $7 on a full thing of coffee, that's going to last you a month. Let's just say 2 weeks. It'll last you 2 weeks. Bro, that's the amount I'm spending on one coffee. If you buy a $3 strainer, $3. You buy a pack of coffee for $7, $8, $11 for a whole 2 weeks. Let's say that's only $10, $11, $12 that you're spending on a coffee every day. You're spending $5, $10 every single time you go. Don't do these little microtransactions. They will kill you at the end of the day. There's so many things like this. One thing I want to talk about, I don't do this. DoorDash, food delivery, don't do these things. You have to tip the driver, and it costs, there's delivery fee on top of how much it already costs. If you DoorDash, you're spending $30 every time, probably minimum. Don't do this. Just literally go to the store. If you want that coffee, if you want that McDonald's, if you want that Chipotle, just drive your car, go there. These are little microtransactions you can avoid every time. Don't do food delivery. I'm telling you right now, I was a delivery driver. People spent way too much money on delivering food, delivering like Amazon, stuff like that. Just delivery in general. Don't do it. Don't be lazy. And some people do. If you're making a ton of money and your return on investment is, if you spend $30 on a dinner or a lunch, but you can make $50 in an hour, I would say that is worth it, because net overall you're making $15. But if you're an average 18 to 25-year-old, don't do this. It's not worth it. I'm just telling you. Go to the location and do this. So I was lucky enough. Another thing, cars. I was lucky enough to get a car third hand. My mom bought this car for $10,000 30 years ago. I'll probably put up a picture. It's a Honda Civic, a 1993 Honda Civic. I still have this car to this day. I have spent no money on a car payment. My friends are buying cars. $500 a month, $600 a month, $700 a month on a car. And you know what? After that honeymoon period, you're probably going to regret it. Whenever you first buy it, you're like, oh, this car is so sick. But at the end of the day, it's a car. I have a 1993 Honda Civic. It's not flashy at all, but it gets me to point A to point B. And nobody really cares. Honestly, it's kind of a conversation piece. Like, oh man, this car is really old. Yada, yada, yada. And be like, yeah, I don't want a car payment. I don't want this. The amount of people that told me to sell this car, the old car, and buy a new one, literally a ton of people. I have saved so much money on not buying a new car. It's one thing I wanted to talk about, the car. Don't buy a new car. Buy a used car. Buy a used car for $3,000, $4,000. Just have the cash right there. Buy it. And then you never have to worry about it ever again. This is how car salesmen get the interest. The interest is crazy on these cars. It's almost like little microtransactions that you don't even do. You don't even notice. You're just like, oh, I'm paying for this, paying for that. Don't do it. If you're 18 to 25, I'm a 24-year-old dude. If you have parents that will let you live with them, live with them. Do not spend money on useless rent for a place you're probably not going to be at much. This was one of my mistakes whenever I was 19. I got an apartment for $750 a month. It wasn't a good apartment. I lived with 3 other dudes, and you know what? One of the dudes turned out to be really bad. So 6 months in, I had to leave anyways, and I lived with my parents. My parents were fortunate. They're nice enough to let me live with them. If you have a parent that lets you live with them as long as possible. Build up income, build up an account, build up an asset account, and then you can move out later date. Literally, nobody cares that you're still living with your parents. They might be like, oh, you're still living with your parents, yada yada. Bro, show your bank account. Be like, you know what? I'm saving $1,500 a month, $1,500 every 2 months for not paying rent. And if they make you pay rent, it's probably going to be like, it's going to be cheap. $500 maybe. $500, bro. I was spending $750 on an apartment I was barely at during college. It was kind of ridiculous, and that's $750 every month you're never going to see again. And honestly, I really regret that apartment. I really do. It was a learning experience. Don't move in with guys you don't know. Another tidbit of information. And if you really want to move out, you can, but expect it to be really expensive. Really, really expensive. You should move in with your parents, and once you have a good income, once you have a solid ground that you can lay on, then move out. Stay with your parents as long as possible. Whenever I was 18, 19, my friends were like, oh, I'm moving out. You're such a coward for not moving out, yada, yada, yada. It's not a smart move to stay with your parents. But now, being a 24-year-old dude, all of my friends regret saying that. Literally all of them. I have not met one person, one of my friends that said that to me, that doesn't regret it. They're always like, man, I wish I would stayed a kid longer. You can be an adult while living with your parents, especially in this economy. Especially in this economy, guys. Why are we spending $750 on rent, $800 on rent? Right now, I'm in a place and I spend probably $1,000 a month. I'm 24, so spending $1,000 every month, it's kind of ridiculous. I'm actually house sitting my dad, so I'm moving out of my place anyways, and I'm not going to spend much rent. But rent, huge thing. You're never going to get that money back. That is legit a massive thing. Another thing, go to discount grocery stores. The products there are just as good as high chain stores. Maybe not Whole Foods, but essentially the stuff tastes the same. If you're a health fanatic and you're into longevity, stuff like that, you can still get your salads. You can get all of this stuff at discount grocery stores. You go to the grocery outlet, Winco, Costco, these types of things. And for Costco, you don't even have to spend a membership. Just find somebody with a Costco membership, go with them. That's what I did. I don't spend the $60, the $100 a month on this Costco membership. I just go with my friend that already has it. That's $100 I've already saved throughout the whole year that I can put into an investment account. And you know what? That money has quadrupled. That $100 I would have spent on that Costco membership is now $400 5 years later. It's kind of crazy. My money has quadrupled in that account. Just never mind. That's kind of a side tangent. Go to discount grocery stores. Just drive. Don't be lazy. Meal prep. You can get your meat. You can cook it all up. You can put it in the fridge, the freezer. It'll be good for a week. You'll be fine. And if you want salads, I go to the store probably twice a week to get salads. The salads go bad pretty quickly, so you have to eat those, but meat, all this pasta, you can buy all this stuff. You can literally live off I guess processed foods for so cheap. I don't like to eat processed foods much. I eat pretty fresh. I'm not gonna lie, I eat pretty fresh, but if you want to, you can save even more money that way. You don't need to go to these high-end grocery stores. Go to discount and don't have your food delivered unless the return on investment is more. If you're working, if you have a good job, you're working from home, yeah. If you spend $100-200 on grocery for a week or two, but you're making $50 an hour, that might be worth it for you, because you're in that 2 hours it takes to deliver, you spent that money, but you're making $50 an hour. That might be worth it for you. It probably is, but for people like me that are making minimum wage, don't go to high-end places. Don't go to these restaurants. Don't go to any of these places. Another thing I want to talk about, restaurants. Don't go out to eat all the time. If you're hungry, go to the store. Don't spend your money on restaurants. You have to tip the people. And side tangent, you have to tip these people. You have to give them a good tip, because if not, they're discouraged. They're literally working for that wage. I mean, you don't have to, but it's kind of frowned upon. Anyways, I guess you could save money on that, but just go to the discount grocery store. That's what I'm saying. Don't go to these restaurants. Whenever I go to a restaurant, it's very rare. Maybe once every other month, I go to a restaurant, and guess what? Whenever I spend that $50, $35, $40, whatever it is on that restaurant, it means so much more to my girlfriend and I. But if we do it every single day, it wouldn't mean much. And the discount groceries that we buy would mean even less. They would taste worse. A restaurant is to have an experience. And we have an experience by going out, and it means so much whenever we go out. It means so much to my girlfriend whenever we go out, because we don't do it that much. Don't spend money every weekend getting drunk at the bars. Don't do this. Don't drink alcohol, for one. I don't drink alcohol. It has saved me so much money. If you really want to get drunk, just buy cheap alcohol at the discount grocery store. I'm not advocating for alcohol use. Don't drink alcohol, please. Don't smoke. Don't do any of these things. But don't go to a high-end restaurant and order like drinks. I went on I was like 22. One of my friends was turning 21. I spent $200 we got food. The food was like $60. And the rest of that, each drink was like $10-15. It was insane. I could not believe it. Don't go to these restaurants. Don't go out. Stay in. Watch Netflix, whatever. That's a subscription service. But if you get your return on investment, watch YouTube. Just go on, watch YouTube. There's free content for you. Don't even need. And my Netflix subscription, I don't even pay for. It's my parents. Guess what? They'll share. I use Crunchyroll. One of my friends is paying for that. We share. I don't even spend a dime on it. I don't spend any money on these subscription services except my personalized YouTube channel. That is literally it. It's so much. It's so worth it, guys. It is so worth it. Ah, man, this is I have so much written down here. Let me just end with these couple points. I might add more. Money makes more money. You get that money, get that job, go to Pizza Hut, get that job, make that first $10,000, invest it. That money will make you more money. Don't go out, don't spend it. Please don't spend it. Okay, I'm going to get a sip of water here. My throat's dry. Another thing I want to mention, whenever you get that money, pay yourself first. Don't get your paycheck. I know lots of people that get their paychecks and instantly spend it. Amazon. They get their paycheck. For one, they pay their rent, and then the rest of that money, they get their nails done. They go to Amazon. They purchase something they're never, ever going to use again, which is pretty unfortunate. Don't do this. Pay yourself first. And if you want, you can buy that thing. Just make it cheap. Give yourself like $20. $20, after the paycheck, $30, just so you can spend it on yourself. You should be saving that money, but if you really want, you can save that money, and if you really want, buy like a video game, $60 video game that you'll play for a while. Boom, there's your entertainment. $60 investment. You don't have to spend any money anywhere else. Invest consistently. Always invest your money every month. Always invest it in stocks. If you invest your money and you don't pull it out, that money will eventually grow. There have been so many people saying, take your money out, pull your money out. Whenever there's a dip, there was a big dip a while ago, and everybody's like, pull your money out, pull your money out. No, I'm not going to pull my money out. I kept it. And guess what? It grew. It went past that point. Another thing I want to say, track every dollar you spend. I use Rocket Money. Rocket Money is great. I spend, I think, like $36 a year on it, but honestly, it's worth it. I get to see what I'm spending my money on every month. Groceries, rent, this, that. It even allows you to cancel the subscription service for you. Excuse me. I'm burping a little bit. It even allows you to, it tracks everything for you. And Rocket Money lets you, what am I wearing? Cancel the subscriptions. It cancels it for you. It shows you all your subscriptions. I was paying for a Minecraft server I didn't even use. A Minecraft Realm, $8 every month for about a year. That $100 could have been in my investment account. Nintendo Switch Online. I don't even play Nintendo Switch Online. Why am I spending $4 a month on Nintendo Switch? I canceled that immediately. You know what? And if you really do want to play your Nintendo Switch, get the subscription, pay the $4, cancel it immediately. It will run out by the end of the month. You won't have to worry about it. Whenever I was, 17, I had a little bit of money. I spent $50 on this workout app. I used it for 2 weeks, never touched it again. And you know what? The next year, $50 came out of my account. I was like, why is this money coming out? Subscription services will kill you. Track every single dollar you spend and ask yourself, why did I spend $100 on coffee last month? Why did I spend $100 on this? Why did I purchase this Amazon subscription I'm never going to use again? Another thing I want to do, avoid lifestyle inflammation. And don't try to impress people. Please don't try to impress people. Don't go out. Don't be buying people drinks. Buy yourself drinks. Maybe buy your girlfriend a drink or two. If you guys go out maybe once a month, once every other month. Please don't go out every weekend splurging money on your friends, because you know what? You probably won't even remember it. You won't remember it. And there might be that time you remember. That'll be great. But you know what? I remember every single time I go out, because I rarely go out. If you do things all the time, you're not going to remember them. If you do things not that much, if I go out, if I spend money, I'm going to remember that. If I go out to a bar, if I go out, buy food, whatever, on a concert, I'll remember that. Another thing I want to say is don't be going to concerts all that much. I go to concerts, but guess what? Other people buy the tickets for me. I don't go to concerts by myself. They'll be like, hey, want to go to this concert? They'll purchase a ticket for me, whatever. My dad does this all the time. He purchases the ticket, and I never pay him back, because that's his little gift to me. He spends concert money on me, and if you really want to go to a concert, ask for your birthday, ask for Christmas. They'll buy these things. You don't have to spend money on these little concerts or going out or these little get-togethers. You don't have to spend money. You just don't. I go out with my friends. I have gone out and spent nothing. Because guess what? I'm not ordering drinks. I get a water. That's it. Don't get food. I get a water. I socialize. You can go out without spending money. The thing is, you want to impress people, and you want to eat that food. You want to go to IHOP with your friends. There have been times I've gone to IHOP with my friends. I haven't spent a dime. I just be around with the people. And at the time you're like, man, maybe food, but do I really need this food right now? Nah, I'm not even hungry. If you're starving, you know what? Go to the discount grocery store. If you're starving, you know what? Get the cheapest thing on the menu. That's what I do. If I really, really want something, I get the cheapest thing on the menu. That's what I do. I spend maybe $13 on it, whatever. Maybe add a couple dollar tip. Because my friends are certainly splurging money, and they'll make up for the tip. Another thing I want to say is this is kind of a tidbit of information. If you really want to go out with your parents. They'll pay for you automatically. Whenever I go out with my family, somebody always covers it. My parents cover it for me. I always ask, like, hey, do you want me to pay you back? They're always like, no. Another tidbit of information: you want free food, go out with your parents, have dinner with your parents. They'll be more than happy to pay for it. And you know what? Later in your life, you can pay it forward by paying for your kids. Whenever you actually have the equity, whenever you have the money to do so. Learn valuable skills. This will change your life. My sales job, whenever I got into it, I knew nothing. I literally knew nothing about sales. And now I can sell great. Let's just say I'm an average salesman. Before, I didn't know nothing. Now I'm an average salesman. Now I have sales skills. Now I can be able to sell something for money. I don't sell another tidbit. I'm going on a tangent. If you're selling something, don't sell the product. Sell how valuable it will be. Sell what they will use it on. Sell the use. Don't sell the product. How will this product what does the product do? Yada yada yada. This pen. This pen that I'm holding right now, don't sell the pen. Be like, you can write down your ideas, right? Well, I already have a pen. Well, this one, you can write down more ideas. You want to write down your ideas, right? Stuff like that. Don't sell the item, sell the utility. Okay, last thing. Every dollar you don't spend is another dollar working for your future. Every single dollar you don't spend will eventually be income later in your life. And you might spend that $1 later in the future, but if I invest $1 right now and I spend that dollar 10 years from now, you know what? It's going to be $10. That dollar is now $10. I can spend it on a $10 thing, but I probably won't. I'll probably be saving. But, I do spend money. I'm human, guys. I spend money. But this has been my video. I've kind of gone on a lot of tangents here. Let me know if you guys like this video. I've made this video from the age of 18 to 23. I'm 24 now, but from the age of 18 to 23, I've made over $100,000. I've saved a lot of it. I've done the stupid mistakes. I really have done the stupid mistakes, but I'm just telling you, avoid those stupid mistakes as much as possible, and that money will eventually be in your account. I talked to my investor, and he was like, yeah, most people start investing from the age of like 24 to 28. I'm like, what? And he's like, yeah, they start working whenever they're 18 to 20, but they have nothing to show for it. They always spend their money. And I'm like, that's ridiculous. I was 19. I was like, yeah, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to just save right now. And guess what? Somebody starting today has zero in their account, an investment account, and they're 24. I'm 24 now. I have thousands of dollars in my account. That's literally it. I could have probably spent money on other things, and this money just gets pulled. I just treat it as another microtransaction. I'm like, okay, this money is going to get pulled out every month. Okay. And then I calculate it. I put it aside. It gets pulled out, but I'm not actually spending it. It's actually making me more money. So yeah. Anyways, guys, sorry for all the tangents. This is my first video. I'm just sitting at a computer recording this right now. Hope you guys liked this video. My name is Haptic. This is how I made $100,000 from the age of 18 to 23. I've made more than 100,000. I'm just saying that right now. This is just a good title. If you guys like the video, leave a sub, leave a comment. Ask me any questions. Please ask me any questions. If you guys want to start a business, I've started businesses in the past, and I've made so many mistakes that cost me money. And I'll probably talk about those later in the future. But anyways, guys, I hope you guys have a good day, good night. I'll see you on the next video.